All right. Welcome to Homemaker University. This is lesson number 5. Today we are going to be talking about laundry maintenance systems. Now, laundry is not the most exciting topic in the universe. I mean, I can admit that freely. I think we all feel that now and then. But I want to talk a little bit. We were going to discuss about how your assignment went last week. Did you have anything you wanted to share, Jean? We have one class member today.
I was just gonna say I do mine a month at a time because I hate it so much. I hate planning meals so much.
All right. Hey, that's a great approach.
So, but we're also doing baby-led weaning with my little girl, and so I also have this little place where I put what food she's trying that day,
Oh, that's brilliant.
so that
Great
I
idea.
can and we're trying lots of new things. We tried eggplant a couple weeks ago because that's
Ooh.
what she was trying. So it's mixing up our lives.
Oh, I think that's great. I love how you took that assignment and you applied it directly to exactly what you need. Great job. Well, thank you. Is there anything else you want to share about menus or about previous assignments?
I don't think so. I think
Okay, great. You're off the hook.
thanks.
Okay. All right. So, just a reminder from last time to make sure that I'd love to hear, maybe via email if you like, or a message about what worked for you on menu planning this week. And I'm wondering if maybe that's why some people didn't come, because that's kind of a big assignment. So I hope that they find what works for them. Okay. Today, I'm going to start with some laundry tips. This is general. After many, many moons of doing laundry, just some tips, some things that I would like to remind my daughters-in-law of, that if I could, share what I have learned, this is just some of those tips. The first one I have is for washing and drying with your washer and dryer is do not overload them. I've learned this the hard way. I have a big family. I have to do big loads, but we need to take care of these machines that we have. They're expensive and they get more expensive all the time. In fact, right now, because of all of the delays and everything and being delivered, it's hard to even get a washing machine. And you can go to the store, but then they have to put it on order and you don't know how long it's going to last. And so it's just wise for us to take care of the machines that we have. Just be careful not to overload. Generally, you shouldn't fill a washer more than half full. And so it looks like, no, there's still plenty of room in there. Just be careful, be wise, don't overload it. I know that I have really taxed washing machines and it's not pretty. Everybody just needs to take care of theirs. Another point is to make sure you don't put too many big, bulky blankets and things in there. If you want that actually clean, you should probably only do one big one at a time and possibly 2 smaller ones, but just be very wise. Okay, enough on that. The second point I have to make is about bleach. I have a love-hate relationship with bleach. Some of my best memories growing up are climbing under the sheets and knowing my mom has just washed these sheets. They smell amazing. And it's because she washed them in bleach. My mom was a big proponent of bleach, and towels and sheets especially got bleached, the heck bleached out of them. I think it's good to use, but we do have to be a little careful. Bleach is actually a pretty strong toxic chemical. And so we need to use it following the directions on the bottle and following the directions on your washer and dryer. Don't just dump a bunch of bleach in there. There's usually a place for you to do that. And then it drips it slowly and it measures that. So be careful with bleach. I personally don't like to use bleach as a cleaner. I know a lot of people do to disinfect. I think there's less toxic ways to do that, but bleach definitely has its place. And I will say this, in my house, I once read a book by another mom of many, and she had a wonderful tip, at least I think it's wonderful. She only buys white sheets and white towels. And the reason she does that is so that she can bleach the heck out of everything. And also there's not this argument of whose this and whose is that. And honestly, white sheets just tend to, you're able to clean them a little more thoroughly for some reason. Um, yeah, the colored things, sheets and towels don't always get as clean. And it may be just because they have these color fast chemicals in them to keep the color strong. So that's just a little tip. Take it or leave it. It's just something I love. I know my husband and I go back and forth on that because he's still not totally sold, but I'm like, I think it's a great idea. Okay, a third tip is we do use OxiClean a lot, which is kind of an additive. Now, something I've had to train my kids on is that it is not a substitute for detergent. It's an additive. It's something that can help, and you need to not use too much. It actually doesn't work well if you use too much. So use that with balance. Another tip that I actually found not too long ago. Now, before I say this, please remember, never, never, never mix bleach with ammonia. It's a bad idea. It's a chemical reaction and it can damage you as a person. Don't ever do it. So I had to say that before I say this. But I saw a tip that sometimes if you have, say, towels, or not towels, sheets or pillowcases specifically, they get a heavy grease buildup on them because our heads are oily and we sleep on them, another homemaker suggested adding a bit of ammonia to the load of laundry. Now you cannot add the ammonia in the same load that you've done bleach. So again, be very careful, but just to add a little bit of ammonia to the load and the laundry detergent and all the other things, and that can often help get rid of some of the grease. Another solution I have liked to use is vinegar for this same way. They're both an acid. So either one. Vinegar, a lot of people don't like the smell of. So, take your pick. And it's not very much, it's just a little bit. Okay, I do want to say something about laundry stripping. Laundry stripping is a very popular thing right now. I know I followed a lady on Instagram for a while that was a professional maid, that she cleaned houses, and she was a huge advocate of laundry stripping. The thing that I think is funny is that this is not a new principle. This is something our foremothers did. They used to soak laundry. I remember my mom and grandma, there were certain loads that they would soak for a certain amount of time to get stains out, especially baby clothes and food stains on baby clothes and icky other stains on baby clothes. So it's not new. But if you want to Google laundry stripping, I'm not going to go into the recipe. It has to do with borax and washing soda and some other things. But it's a really long soak. Now, if you are doing this and you have a home, you have a bathtub, you want to do it in your bathtub, please be careful if you have little ones. You do not want little ones falling in. I suggest you actually do a soak cycle in your washing machine if you have room. I just feel like it's a safer option. If you don't have little ones, like I have grandchildren, but that come and go in my house all the time. So I probably wouldn't do that in my bathtub. But if you're an empty nester or you don't have any littles that come in your house, feel free to do it in your bathtub. So I actually, to review laundry stripping, I looked up and found an article in Good Housekeeping magazine, and it talks about what the purpose of it is. And what it is we often, when we wash clothes a lot, there gets to be a buildup, especially just from detergent, fabric softeners. If you have hard water, dryer sheets, it can build up some chemicals on your clothes. So that's really what laundry stripping is. It is soaking, so in very, very, very hot water with these other ingredients for several hours until the water is cold. So I've seen a lot of videos and a lot of things about it. And it shows the water is all dirty and murky. I don't recommend laundry stripping for all your clothes. I think it can damage some of your colored items, but for things like towels and sheets, I think it's a great idea. It's not something you do that often. You only do it every so many months or whatever. So if you want to learn more about that, I recommend you Googling that, but it is a great method to get rid of some of the buildup on some of your things. I have seen it done with workout clothes, which I think is probably a good idea if you work out a lot and your clothes are gross. But it can give your towels and sheets especially a new life and at least refresh them a bit. And I know it's something that's on my list to do this winter sometime. Okay, another tip is line drying. So I just love line drying clothes. I have a thing, I get poetic about it. I just know my mother and grandmother did it. And of course, I'm in the cold north. And so we don't really do that in the winter. But there's a lot of really great tools. I know we have a laundry line that rolls up in on itself. And so we can pull it out and hook it across to the other pole. And we do it on our back porch, actually. And I don't do it that often. I especially like it for whites, especially when I lived in Arizona, is wonderful on whites because the sun bleaches. And there's just something refreshing and wonderful about drying things in the sun. It's actually, I don't know, I could wax poetic about it. I'll stop. Okay, another thing that if you're interested in, I'd like to talk about briefly is homemade laundry detergent. I have done this a few times. I find that I actually, when I do use homemade, I actually need to strip my clothes, my laundry more often. So I don't know what is in modern detergents. I don't like all the chemicals, but I also at the same time, the homemade laundry detergent for me has not worked as well. If you find a recipe you really like, and it's good to try different ones. Again, using little additives like vinegar to get rid of grease and things like that, I do still like to do. I often will put a drop or two of essential oil in my homemade laundry detergent when I am doing that. Just, it's something interesting to try and you can see if you like it or not. I found for us, it wasn't worth the effort, at least at the time when I was doing it. Maybe as our family continues to shrink in the household and after I finish school, I may have more time and may try that again. So I just wanted to briefly touch on that. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I should have shared it earlier, but well, let's see, here it is. I have slides today, so I wanted to share those. Okay. So we have our lesson 5 today. And we talked about washing tips. Okay, there are different approaches to laundry, right? I have tried many, and I find that right now I'm in a different season because I don't have a lot of littles to take care of. I have older kids that can take on a lot of that responsibility. And I used to have, when I was a younger mother, a lot of older mothers telling me you need to teach your kids how to do laundry. Even little kids can do laundry. It was something I was not willing to give control of to others. I'm a little bit of a control freak. And I found that with as many people in my household that I was really concerned about it being done right. And I wanted to keep hold of that. That was something that I took on and I held on to. I don't know that I'm not necessarily recommending that. I'm just telling you what happened to me. But because of my experiences of the last couple of years and my very busy schedule, I have had to let go of that. And I have found that, yes, indeed, all those women in my life that were telling me years ago that I should teach my kids to do laundry and that even little kids could do laundry, they were right. And it actually can really help. So we're going to talk about that more as we go along. But this first approach is something I used to do, and I would do laundry every day. This is something that actually Fly Lady talks about. I don't know that she recommends it, but she does talk about it. Sometimes it's just great to have a time every day where you just do laundry and you're just going to do one load and that's all you worry about. It's kind of a one load approach, one load a day. I'm just going to do this laundry real quick today. I'm going to do the kitchen towels or whatever it is. And you just do one. The thing about daily laundry that you have to make sure that you do, so there's not a buildup, is that you do what I call finishing the cycle. This is not just the wash cycle, but if you are a homemaker, chances are you have forgotten about a load of laundry in the washer and you've had to rewash it. I know I've done that more times than I care to admit. So that's the thing, is you have to follow through. You have to make sure that you are, if you're going to do one load a day, then you do the whole cycle, that it's not just put it in the washer and forget about it. Put it in the washer, then put it in the dryer. One thing that Fly Lady says about that, she calls it rebooting the laundry, and that it's good to set an alarm on your phone maybe, or you have a set time of day when, say you get up in the morning and you put things in the washer as part of a morning routine, then maybe you have a set time of day that you will reboot that laundry, that you will make sure it gets moved to the dryer. Then it's not just the washer and the dryer, right? I think the hardest part, at least for me, is the folding and the putting away. Now, there are some different schools of thought on this. Some people, I know the minimalist mom, or the minimal mom, she doesn't fold laundry. Actually, she has little bins, and that each person has their own bin, and she just puts that person's clothes in their bin. And if they want to fold it, they can. It's up to you. I know that our grandmothers and great grandmothers used to iron everything and make sure they folded everything. Now, granted, they usually had a lot less clothes than we do, and they had different fabrics than we do in our modern time. So keep that in mind. But if folding is important to you, say you are a huge Marie Kondo person and you want your things folded exactly with the golden triangle, then make sure that you do that as part of the cycle. So again, the cycle is washing, drying, folding, and putting away. Putting away is often very hard. Even if I know when I did everyone's laundry, I would have piles. As I sorted laundry, I told them they had to fold their own. And then they would come get their pile and put it away. But sometimes I had to nag a lot. And this is actually one reason why I would do it in my living room on the couches, because then everybody sat on those couches. And I knew everybody would eventually come to that room and that they would want a place to sit. So get your laundry out. So that's just another idea. Okay, approach number 2 is a weekly wash day. And I have done this as well. You have a day, you know how we planned our days of the week? Maybe you have a day like our grandmothers did that was your wash day. And that was the day you tidied the laundry room, and maybe you decluttered the clothes, and you sorted through the laundry, and everybody brings their laundry in, you sort it, you wash it, that is what you focus on that day. I have done that. It works sometimes for some people. It might not work for you. It's another idea to try. You could also not just do one day. You could say, okay, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to do laundry. So these people will bring their laundry on these days, this day, and the other group of people will bring their laundry on the other day. So you could do that. I do like to, in our family, because of the way we're doing laundry, and I'll talk more about this later, but you could designate a day where you just do what I call the communal laundry, which is all the towels, all the sheets, like the dish towels in the kitchen, the dish rags, those kind of things. So you could plan that. Now, I do want to say something briefly, and I'm including it in the weekly washing because I think I used to do this at the same time. Because we have such a large family, we used to have what a lot of large families actually have done, and it's called the family closet. I've done this in a laundry room when I had a big laundry room. I've even designated a bedroom for this once upon a time. But it's where I put all the family's clothing in one room. And the idea was to not have so many clothes in my children's rooms. They were sharing rooms and their rooms were a little crowded, and clothing is one of the worst contributors to messy rooms, I feel. And having drawers in a child's room, you often get frustrated because they have the drawers open and stuff pulled out, and you might have clean laundry mixed in with dirty laundry on the floor. That drives me crazy. So we did this. It doesn't work for every size of family, but for big families, I know many big families that actually do this. It no longer is practical for our family. And so we stopped doing it, but it's another idea. It's just an idea. And if you have more questions about that, I just suggest that you Google that, or you can check out different blogs and places. If you go to my blog that I'm not writing on anymore, it's called oldfashionedmotherhood.com. And I have several posts about that if you're interested. Okay, so the next approach, and this is one of my favorite things ever, is to reduce Mount Washmore. We all in today, most people I know have too many clothes. I mean, how many clothes do you have in your closet, or your children have in their closet, that they don't actually wear, or your spouse? I have found that we really don't need as many outfits as we think. Now, sometimes it's a good idea to have seasonal outfits. That doesn't mean you need to get rid of everything, but maybe you have outfits that are just for winter. And that then when it's not winter, you put those long sleeved things or sweaters and things like that away. I try to minimize clothing as much as possible. I actually really loved living in Arizona for this reason, because number one, I hate socks. Socks are the bane of my existence. Here in the cold hinterland, we need socks. Our feet get cold rather easily, so we need socks. But socks are not my favorite thing. One thing I do is that basically my girls have white socks and my boys have black socks. And I have tried my best to simplify that. Now, since my kids are washing their own, and especially teenage girls for some reason love to have multicolored socks, but I just find for my younger kids, it just simplifies things. I asked my boys, in fact, I was storing all these white socks and they would always make it into the laundry. And I finally sat all my children down. I gathered all my socks and I said, okay, whose are these? Do you wear these? And my boys, I only have two older boys at home right now. I have a little boy too, but none of my boys wanted their white socks. They were like, I don't really wear them. And I thought, why am I holding on to these? I got rid of them. It was so wonderful. But really, see if there are ways you can simplify things. Most, at least in my household, the boys just like the black socks. And I think that's great. That simplifies my life. They're easier to match up. And they never get to church or a special occasion and they're wearing white socks with their black shoes, which drives me crazy. So it's a great idea, at least for us. All right. So as you can see in this picture, and I've talked about in previous lessons, we did a color coding for days of the week. Again, we still aren't doing this. I actually do still do this in my own preparing for my week, just because it's less decisions for me to make. I can just say, okay, it's this day and it's this color. But I had 2 shirts of each of the colors for each child. And they all knew that Monday we were wearing red, and it just helped reduce my laundry. I knew exactly how many pieces of laundry my children had. That was super powerful for us. I actually wrote about this on my blog, and I thought I'd read a little excerpt from that just to share. I said that I am loving the color coding we are doing with our family's clothes. For the first time since my firstborn child was an infant, I have a good grasp on what clothes each of my kids own and wear. For so many years, I've been drowning in an inordinate amount of laundry to wash, but now I have a complete inventory of every article of clothing that each person has. I made a spreadsheet that mapped out each day of the week and then chose a color for each day. I gave the boys some choices on a couple days since they don't love pink or purple. When I specified each color, I decided that the colors did not need to be exact, and that helps a lot. This has not been a quick process, and I have had to do a little bit of shopping at the thrift store to replace some of the worn out old clothes that I got rid of. Let me tell you, this is just an insert here. Get rid of clothes that are shabby. If they have holes, get rid of them. And this is one reason why I did like doing everybody's laundry for quite some time, because then I could see so-and-so's underwear is getting way too holy and I could throw it away. And then I could add that to my list of things to buy, right? So just be aware, but get rid of things. And it is always a battle. You're going to have kids that love an outfit or a shirt or a piece of clothing that no longer fits them. Use your best judgment. I have snuck things out of laundry before. Do what you think is best for you. But again, I try and remind my kids that things are just things and that it is not necessary for us to hold on to something. And I'll even say, I'll take a picture of you in it, and then we're going to go give it to someone else. Okay, that's just another idea there. Okay. Everybody who depends on mom or big sister to do their laundry has matching shirts. And then I just make sure each person has enough pants, shorts, or skirts to wear with those shirts. At the time, my teenage daughters were not participating because they did their own laundry. That was kind of the rule I set at the time. If you do your own laundry and you care so much about fashion, then you can have what you want. But I was surprised that they did reduce their clothing as well. I did not assign Sundays a color because in our family, we go to church and we just wear our church clothes for the whole day. But I had 5 little girls under the age of 12 and I had way too many dresses. So we got rid of a bunch of those. Okay. At the time, another reason I did this is for us to all match. We, again, are a big family. So when we would go out in public, it was just easier for me to know what color shirt to look for, especially if we were going somewhere like a park or a library where we would spread out. Okay, just another approach and an idea. All right, approach number 4. And this is where we are at right now in our family, is that I have delegated the load. And to do this, I did have to take a Saturday, and it actually didn't take that long, but I gathered everyone into my laundry room and I said, all right, children, we are going to learn how to do our laundry. This is Laundry 101. I showed them how to use our particular washing machine and our particular dryer. I showed them where to put the laundry detergent. I demonstrated how much and what to put in. I talked about different sorting and colors. And we just had a lesson. I explained why we do these things. It was actually very interesting. Whenever I have done this, and I have done this with how to load the dishwasher, how to clean the bathroom, how to scrub a toilet. I've done this with different jobs. They actually really like it. And I think it empowers them so that they know what my expectations are as the home manager. And then they don't avoid doing it because they know how to do it. So I think that's very important. This is my favorite thing. I'm really excited to share this. This system I found has worked really well for our family in doing their own laundry. Basically, each person has their own laundry basket. They are all different colors just because our kids think that's fun. And this is each person. This is not even each room. I used to have a laundry basket for each room. This is for each person. It has their name on the basket. They have that basket, and through the week, they are filling that basket with their things. I insist that they also put their towel in it on their day to clean their laundry. So each person is assigned a day to do their laundry. That is their day. So on our laundry schedule, there are 2 days, or actually 3 days, Monday, Tuesdays, and Fridays, that because we have so many people in our house, I had to schedule some in the morning and some in the afternoon. On Monday mornings, I do the communal laundry. That is the towels, the sheets, the dish towels, the dish rags, and that's my job. Then I can do that however I want. I use hot water. I use a little bit of bleach, some OxiClean. If I need to degrease some things, then I'll use ammonia instead of bleach. Remember, not in addition to, instead of. But then I take that laundry, it's very specific, and I do that laundry and I complete the cycle and then I'm done. Now, on our kids' days, they take their laundry basket with their towel in it, everything they've dirtied that week. And if they need to, their sheets. Then because it's only a week's worth, it's not a ton of laundry, hopefully. And they put it all in the washer. Yes, I said they put it all in the washer. They don't sort it. Now, if they care, and if they're older, then whatever, they can do it how they want, but they only have one day in which to do this. And so they get their basket full, they take it up to the laundry. They load it in, they put the soap, they start it. Then I have them put their laundry basket on top of the washer. Now everyone knows whose clothes are in the washer. And when that is done, then they go in and they get their laundry out of the washer and they put it in the dryer and they start the dryer. Then they put their laundry basket on the dryer. Everybody knows whose clothes are in the dryer now. So if it's two people on the same day, then the next person can come in and put their clothes in the washer. Then as soon as their clothes are done in the dryer, they put their clothes in their basket and they take their basket to their room. Now, some people might not like the idea of their kids having a basket full of clean laundry in their room, and maybe they never put their laundry in there. Yes, that is a concern. I haven't had a lot of time to follow through with them and make sure they put that laundry away. But at the same time, it's their laundry. They have to learn the effects of that. And so it's been hard for me to let that go, but it's actually really good for them to take that full responsibility of their laundry. This has been working for us for several months, and my younger children are very proud of the fact that they can do their own laundry. Now, they're not tiny. My littlest one is 7, but she and her 9-year-old brother have just really run with this, and it's been a great thing for them. It's actually been great for everyone. I never ever hear again, Mom, I don't have any clean underwear. Mom, I don't know where. Now, I do still have a couple of kids that say, I don't know where my towel is. And I'm like, wow, that's too bad, because they each only have one towel. They each have their own towel, and that's their towel. And so they're starting to learn, if I don't keep track of my own towel and I don't wash it, then I don't have a towel when I need to shower. And so that's kind of actually been really good for them. I'm hearing it less and less. And it was only from 1 or 2 of the younger kids. So it's worked really well for us. Now, I've made a spreadsheet, because I know I say spreadsheet a lot because I love spreadsheets. I have this thing about them, but I have printed it out on the spreadsheet. I have a copy on my laundry room door. I have a copy on our family control center, which is a big cork board. I have a copy hanging in my own office, and it's just, I think each of the kids probably have a copy. They know what day they do the laundry. I haven't had to remind them. And it's just been a wonderful thing for our family. So that's my little soapbox. You can do that system, or you can look up lots of different systems. There's different systems online. We've talked about a lot of different approaches. But do you have any questions or comments? Jean, you have the floor because you're the only one here. So if you do, go ahead and ask them now.
Well, I actually did have a question. It's about something you said, but it's not about laundry.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Because I grew up cleaning with bleach a lot, and I have still cleaned with bleach my whole married life. But now that I have a little one, I have like this fear of her finding my cleaners with bleach and like drinking them or something. And so I'm just wondering if you have any suggestions on cleaners that you have used, because I know you have had lots of little ones for a long time.
Yes. Oh, that's a great question. I actually really like Simple Green. There's different variations of it, and there's different, I'd say environmentally friendly, but more I'm concerned about the toxicity in my house.
Yeah.
So you can look those up. I know Simple Green is one of my favorite ones. They have, I don't know if they even make it anymore. They have a lavender smelling one that has been my favorite, but I'm running out of that. There's different ones. I can't remember what it's called. There's one brand that a lot of people seem to like that has essential oils in it. Me, I think the smell is too strong. I can't remember what it's called though. But health food stores are a good place to look. Seventh Generation is another brand that's more environmentally friendly, less toxic. But there's different ones that you can use. And bleach does have its place. It really does. But yeah, I think you have to be careful not to bleach everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't let you ask that question when I was in the middle of talking about that.
That's okay. I just figured I'd remember it for the end.
You did. You're good. You're better than me. I often forget. So
Yeah, we don't really have health food stores and stuff where I live. So,
oh, really? Well, I know Amazon has some.
okay.
So
That helps though, because my family did use a little bit of Simple Green growing up. So
I found that.
I,
And when I mop my floors, I actually use vinegar
oh,
in the
I do
water.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use
Vinegar is a
vinegar
great
too.
cleaner. Yeah.
So, okay,
Awesome.
cool. That's helpful. That's my only question.
Okay, great. I'm so glad you asked it. Okay, I actually have some assignments for you this week. So it's just an idea for you to sit down and look at your own laundry and think through what is working, what has worked, what is working, and you don't need to change. If you've got a system that is working, don't worry about changing it. But maybe make a list of what is not working. Where are things getting bound up? Say maybe it's always the folding. Maybe the folding isn't working. So maybe try something different, like giving each person a bin and you just put their clean clothes in it and you don't fold it. That's just an idea, but just think through what is not working and write these things down. This is the assignment, is to write these things down. Write down what is working, write down what is not working. And the third part of the assignment is to maybe try a different approach. Maybe this week, try doing only certain people's laundry on certain day and see if that works better than what you're doing, or whatever else, any of the ideas I've used or others that you have found online. Then next week, I would like you to report on your findings and what you found. And then bring your finished assignments to next week's class. So I need to go back. Let's see, how do I go back? Let me see, exit full screen. Okay. I want to go back to the assignments here. And again, just to remind you, these are the assignments. What is working, to write it down. Write down what is not working, and then try something different this week, and then report back next week. So that's the assignments for this week. We are under an hour today. Yay. So do you have any further questions?
No, I don't think so. This has been a nice one-on-one here.
I know, it's been really nice. Personal mentoring. Well, it's great to see you, and it's been a great class. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I think we are about ready to end. So I'm just going to stop the, I stopped the recording already. Oh, well. Oh, no, I'm still recording. Never mind. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for coming. Try some new laundry experiences this week.